Galacticos! Of course, we're back because you asked for it. We bring it to you. So we're here with the AskRG. Yeah? If you haven't liked or subscribed yet, you know what to do. You know what to do. And let's go for it.
Here we go. Let's get started. I'm going to say his name right because last time, I'm sorry, I apologize, I said your name wrong. From official Nick. Does it make sense buying Robert Lewandowski? He turns 28 in August.
Well, that's a good question. And if you're asking if it makes sense or not due to his age, because how old is he? I think, yeah, buying a 28-year-old player is not really a problem. Counting that he can give us 2 or 3 good seasons, maybe 4. Why not? Definitely, I think it does make sense. He's a great player, great striker. He can score goals of any kind. We need that.
I agree. 28, I think, is the prime age for a footballer. It's like where they're peaking and they're playing their best. And really, Real Madrid's not about developing players anyway. So we want to get the player when they're at their prime. 28's prime age, and get 2 or 3 good years out of him.
And get some good Lewandowski action up in here.
Okay, moving on.
Thank you.
Thank you, official Nick.
A me do it.
Does Cristiano need to be substituted in certain games?
Ooh, that's a good question. What do you think?
We've been saying that I feel like the whole season, that he's one of the players that hardly ever gets or has played the most in the season, and yes, he does need to get substituted. He's now 31, his age, I mean, he's not playing the way he used to play, and he doesn't need to play all the minutes of every single game. It would help him to rest.
I agree, but from a football point of view, I don't know. I don't think like when he's not playing at his top is because of physical problems. I don't think it's because he's tired, because physically he's a beast. Zidane said it, and we all know it. I mean, he's a beast. So I don't know if when he's not performing well is because he's tired or just because he's thinking about something else. So we would have to sub him, but not to give him some rest or because he's tired, but maybe because we need to change the style of play of the team in certain points of a game.
Right, or if he's not doing anything.
Yeah, but like not because he gets tired. I don't think that's a problem, but yeah, we might need to play differently than around Cristiano all the time.
Moving on, Gabriel. Bravo. Gosh, I am messing up everyone's names, I apologize. Do you think James will eventually take over Real Madrid and win the Ballon d'Or?
Nah, I don't know. I would like that. I would definitely like that. That would mean that James will be with us for more than 4 or 5 years to come. When like Cristiano is gone, maybe Bale already is gone, and James is 28, 29, that age, that prime age that you're talking about. Maybe, hopefully, I would love that, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
No, I'm just gonna go with a simple no. Sorry.
Simple Jack.
Simple Jack. I just saw that movie, that's why I'm laughing. If Pogba comes in, whose place will he take? Or will he be on the bench? On the bench?
On the bench. You don't seem very happy about the on the bench thing.
No. I mean, if Pogba comes in, I think we were talking about this earlier, I think he would obviously take Cruz's spot, because people are saying it's not Cross, it's Cruz. My pronunciation again. I would say Cruz's position, and
I have to agree with her because I mean the people who are on the bench, like he wouldn't take Kovacic's place or Casemiro's place because they don't even have a place in the starting lineup.
No.
So it would have to be either Modric, no way, or Cruz, or maybe a more offensive role in like if we played with a tridente, 3 people in the midfield as we have in some years before. But I would say Toni Kroos. Toni Kroos. I would say Toni Kroos for sure. He's not that old though. I always look at him and he seems like an old player.
He has that air.
But he's 25 years old or 26. He's not that old. But Pogba would be a good replacement for him.
I like Pogba. He's awesome. Heitzer Gutierrez says, would you like to see Neymar at Real Madrid?
Yes, I would.
Yes. Who wouldn't? Well, I guess there's people who wouldn't, but yes.
I would.
Okay, moving on. From our friend from Daniel Karic, we haven't seen you in a while, so hey man, protector of the galaxy. This is a long question. What do you guys think about the way Real Madrid handles the preseason and every summer? The players are flying too much and train too little on these long trips. It always harms our start in the league, as it did this year. Is it a problem we have to take seriously or not? What do you guys think?
Daniel Karic always with the good questions. Thank you very much. This is a very deep question because actually in the last couple of weeks, some of the players and some of the heavyweights of the locker room have been talking about this. Well, Carvajal mentioned it and Ronaldo mentioned it as well, saying that the preseason is not what it should be, that they're not training that much, and that maybe too many trips, too many miles of flying and whatever. And of course, I think this is the clearest point where the sporting needs clash with the marketing needs of the enterprise, of the company, which is flying around the world, flying these players around the world, especially when there's no competition. But when, from a football point of view, we should be focusing on getting ready for times like this. Because now we have players injured. Is it because the preseason was not serious enough? The question is, how do you deal with this? Like, do you neglect all of the Real Madrid's, commitments with all these brands in China and the United States?
Oh no, I mean, I think that we can't put that much weight on the preseason as a ex-footballer. I know the importance of preseason. You do have, a long season. You have a gap about a month for you to recover and relax and be a person again. And then you come into the preseason. The preseason is really to help you get ready and your body physically ready for what this season is going to ask of you. And I think if you don't go into the preseason, if you don't go into the season fit enough, that's where you can find injuries. And like you said, I know we traveled a lot when I played in the university, and there are times if you're not one of the starting 11 or the top subs or the first 3 subs to come in, you're traveling and you're not really working out, you're not getting fit. I think the traveling takes a toll a lot on the players' bodies, especially not getting trainings in or not getting the best training sessions that you can get in. And like you said, I think the answer would be, have this obligation to accompany the marketing aspect, but go to one country. You don't have to go to China, Australia, and then Italy. Go to the US and stay in one state and do, a couple state tour, I'm not sure. Not just the US, but I'm just saying, stay in a closer vicinity. CR7 rules. What was your reaction when Ramos headed the ball in the net in the dying minutes of the Champions League final in 2014?
I have a cool story about this. We were in the producer's house, actually the guy that is right now behind the camera. We were watching it in his house. We had rented a projector, so we had like a cinema screen in the living room. It was like 15 or 20 people watching the game. I have to say that it was really tough because I had already accepted the fact that we were losing that game.
Me too.
I had already, I had lost that game already. And I was watching this guy, and this guy, I think he was in the process of accepting it, but that process was painful to watch, and I'm sure it was painful for him because he was turning white. It looked like he was gonna throw up. And at one point I was scared that he was gonna jump out the window. Because imagine this, for us, after so long to get to the final of the Champions League, which is like our competition, and losing it 1-0 with a horrible goal to Atlético de Madrid.
Yeah.
So when that goal came, it was mayhem. It was just, frantic mayhem. It was not like an organized, cool, let's hug my friends.
Cool.
We're so happy Real Madrid fans. It was like mayhem.
I watched it in a bar in Madrid, and being in Madrid, as it was both teams from Madrid, it was like you have the fans of Atleti who were so obnoxious, and because they're winning, and it was so frustrating. And I was just like, oh my God, I need to emotionally prepare myself for this loss because I'm actually gonna get mad at my stupid friends who are cheering him in your face, blah, blah, blah. And finally when we scored, I might have thrown my beer, I'm not sure. I may or may not have gotten kicked out of the bar, just kidding.
It was a good moment.
It was a great moment.
It was a good moment, yeah, it was.
Oh, and our last but not least question, from Trigger Happy 262 plus Trigger Happy, another protector of the galaxy. Do you think that we can beat Roma even though Zidane is inexperienced?
Actually, Iñaki, the Canon of Alaba, our friend who does the videos in Spanish. If you speak a little Spanish, you should go watch him. He was talking about this, and I totally agree with him. He was saying 2 weeks ago, the Roma seemed like a more attainable goal. And every day, somehow the Roma seems to be getting bigger and bigger. And probably by the time we get there, we're gonna be scared, very scared. And but I think we can beat Roma. We should beat Roma. And I don't think Zidane being inexperienced is a problem because Zidane is technically inexperienced. He hasn't coached in first division, a big team, but he knows what he's doing. He knows the players, and especially that competition, the Champions League. He knows what's going on there. He knows what's necessary for a player, not only technically or tactically,
but mentally. That's the important part.
Mentally and emotionally, to face these games.
I think the important thing about big matches like this and tournaments like Champions League is, these players know that they can play, but a lot of times it's what you do to yourself mentally before a match that can really mess you up in the match. I mean, we have some of the best players in the world. Technically speaking, those guys know how to play, whether or not they're on the same page. And I think this is the important part about Zidane managing this team in the Champions League, is managing everyone's emotions and their feelings. And that sounds kind of funny, but I mean, I think that is what it is.
If we do that, if we come out emotionally ready and all this, like, we should beat Roma. But I just want to say that the last time we faced them was also in Champions League, in the same leg, in the 8 finals, 2008. And it was the same thing. We were talking about, we shouldn't have a problem beating Roma. And of course, what happened? They beat us there and here. In these dark ages that we had, where we couldn't get through or getting past the 8 finals of the Champions League for 7 years in a row. So anyway, I'm confident, but not too confident.
Well, we can't be too confident because we've seen the problems that we've been having away.
Galacticos, of course, thank you for sending in your questions. We love it, and we hope that you like it too. We hope to have answered
all of your questions sufficiently.
Yeah,
and if
sufficiently.
Not,
I like that.
If not, sorry.
We'll try again some other time. You know what to do. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you later.